welcome to the party. Alright, I didn't get my game open yet. It's not a mess. I couldn't get my headphones going for a second there. I was like, headphones, come on. Oop, yep, my bad. The game's already playing. Ooh. I'm gonna open this. We're gonna pause it. We're gonna come back to that. I love that song. Alright. We're gonna get all sorted and organized in our video gaming. I think... Okay, what? I need my spreadsheet. Alright, Kimari. He needs bad breath, which you get from Albert. And this comes from Omega Weapon or Nemesis. Hey. Yes, Omega Weapon. I am struggling. Alright, we're screwing around in Makalani to catch these things. Let's see what we can do here. Oh, I'm in controller. There it is. I got sunglasses stuck on my... We're just catching monsters. That's all we're doing. There we go. Let's... Sorry, I'm trying to remember how to... There we go. I liked it better the other way. It's all stacked. Messy stuff on my desk. Alright, we're just running through the woods, killing things. You know, the family business. Oh, we don't need to go here. Went there yesterday and didn't accomplish nothing. JK, JK. Welcome back, I'm streaming. Welcome back, I am streaming. If I don't say everything twice, she can't hear me. She has, like, a syndrome, I've decided. Wow, when you do the butterflies like 80 times, you, like, can get pretty good at them, I guess. Just muscle memory. Hilarious. I've already done your stupid butterfly crap. So I try not to start, I try not to watch any YouTube before the stream gets going because I kind of want to share good videos with you guys. Sometimes I don't know if the video's going to be good or not, you know? So you just have to, like, watch it. So I watch some videos and I'm like, you can rewatch it. This one woman, she made a really good video about doodles, the dogs, labradoodles, and whatever other crosses with poodles people come up with to make money off of. Not a lot of money. It's all lies too. They're not even like special dogs. They're just dogs. And usually they seem to be annoying and a pain in the ass. Hell yeah. Oh, I should be writing these things down. I'm just zoning out. 2. 2. Boom. 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 There's some other stuff we need to kill here too, but I don't know where it is. Get out of here. Okay, we have those. Got those.
Enough.
Okay. Bam. Look, progress. Number go down. I wish this was 10-2, because then I could play Spirit Break. But I'm not playing 10-2 right now. I want to get through a lot of this game before I have to grind through that one, because, like, I think it's going to take me, like, 3 playthroughs to get everything, because I'm just not good enough to do it any quicker. And how am I supposed to remember what I did or didn't do? Ugh, I'm so, like... That game has like cutscenes that count for percentages to get the most best ending, but like, I don't know. Maybe I'll just focus on achievements and see where that lands me. Oh, I should have Riku out stealing shit. Thefting, as one does. I watched some interesting theories about Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon. Mostly the theories are about how many different characters are horses, which initially I was just like, oh, is there like actually a character that is a horse? And it turns out this person is making a very funny joke about how Mr. Martin writes to tell you that if someone is on a horse, where they say so-and-so is a horse, and it's like, a horse is one word. A-H-O-R-S-E. A horse. And this person is like, see? It says they're a horse right here. They have turned into a horse. I don't know when or how, but somewhere in the middle of this battle, he has turned into a horse. And I'm like, you know, that's a really funny joke. And he's made like 2 videos now, because the first one was just like one character and he made the joke and that was it. And someone's like, oh, how many other characters are horses? And this person was like, you know what? I see the challenge. And I'm down. I'm here to comb through these books and tell you how many of these characters are a horse. Which, very funny. I like it. A big fan. Big metal fan. I need to put Riku in the party. Oh, God. We're going back the other way because all I'm doing is catching monsters. You just go ahead and kill it so we can get out of the battle. Alright, we're done with these, apparently.
No time to
We
waste.
don't need to
Let's go.
any more of those. We're probably good on the Chimera too, but who friggin' knows? And where are the rest of these beasties that are supposed to be here? I wonder if they're on the lake, or like on the way to the temple. Nice.
Farewell.
I love the elements. I want like wind chimes of all the elements.
That's how it's done.
That'd be pretty cool. Just wandering. Alright. Not today, maybe.
Farewell.
The internet used to be a place. You're not wrong. Ooh, let's click in. Let's just say hi. We'll just say hello, real quick. I'm gonna turn down Final Fantasy just a little. That was delightful. That was delightful. Thank you so much. Look at that dancing man. Dance, my man, dance. He's so happy. Oh, I love that. That's so great. Kinda want to watch Haley Whipjack. I love her. I really like her. And trucks. Excuse me. Oh, this was crazy. Excuse me. Mommy cat was like brought in to be trapped, neutered, and then returned. And the mommy cat was like pregnant, and they didn't realize that she was pregnant until they'd already like given her the anesthetic to make her go sleepies, or the anesthesia to make her go sleepies. And so the kittens got some of the anesthesia too. And so this lady, the kitten lady, I don't remember her name. She has tattoos, and I really, really like her. She's really nice. And she was like, I'm gonna try to save these babies, because like after they're born, they need to eat because they only have so many calories in their body after a baby is born. So they need to nurse, and so she needed to get them awake. And the mom's like a feral cat, and so like it's a whole situation, but no one puts in the work. She's got a cat named Fergus who was super sick and unwell, and she took care of him really well. She also fosters other not so sick cats, but she handles a lot of sick cats. I love her. She's great. Okay. I was worried my mic wasn't working suddenly. That would suck. Oh, let's check in on Alveus, because I have not been checking in like I'm supposed to.
No thoughts, only push pop.
Only push pop.
Guys, push pop doesn't know it's your last day in here. Are you ready? Push.
That worked out.
That was
so
sick.
well.
It's time. Dun dun, dun dun. Man, she's heavy. She needs a leash. Yeah, honestly, she is pretty fast. She probably could walk up there. This is a arm workout. Wow. Push pop, what the heck? We're going up to Push Pop's new enclosure. I'm gonna show you all of the parts of it. We're gonna do a reveal of the inside portion first, because that's where we will be putting Push Pop. And then I will show you the outside part of the enclosure. It has been in the works for quite some time, because we've been perfecting all the details. One of the things people don't realize about having tortoises and reptiles in general as pets is that it's not just having like a backyard to put them in.
I'm scratching my ear.
We're almost there.
Hi.
Push Pop! She's really excited. The reveal.
What do you want? Hi, Alice.
Welcome to the Sulcata tortoise
What can I do
enclosure.
for you, man?
Yes, this is just for one Sulcata tortoise. It is supposed to be 45 foot that way and 15 feet that way. But I'm an overachiever,
Come on.
and I actually did 50 feet by 18. It's all limestone. This is what we're working with here.
Don't step on the keyboard.
It is just everywhere. It's horrible to work in. There's rocks everywhere.
You want it from
And
here?
we're like, the auger will make it easy. We were wrong. So I called up our rental company. I was like,
I got a
hey,
ting. Let
we
me
got this
check
silk cotton
that.
tortoise enclosure that we're trying to build, and it's just gonna take us a million years to hand dig all this, and we want to rent
Take a
the
picture,
rocks
'cause
off
you're
for one
fine.
day.
Alice.
Can you help us out?
Alice,
And
right here.
the guy on the phone was
Hey.
like, yes, I used to actually
Hey.
have a silk cotton tortoise burrowed
Alice.
underneath my foundation of my home, and he had to spend like $10,000-ish or something like that to fix the foundation damage that his silk cotton tortoise did. Moral of the story, don't get a silk cotton tortoise and put it next to your foundation. Just don't. It took, I don't know, 45 minutes, maybe an hour with all the troubles to rock saw the rest of this out. The next volunteer day, we had to come and hand dig all of the dirt out
What are you doing?
of the trench to make it reasonable for us to come in and pour concrete and to put the rebar.
Hi.
Well, you've been
Concrete into trench. Lindsay, Kayla's here to help. Spacey's also here to
What are
help.
you touching?
It's gonna be a good
That's
time.
my straw.
Are you excited to add concrete professional work to your resume?
You can come here.
No. No.
They're so excited.
never be the fate I must deserve. Oh, don't you?
Okay, bye.
I just wait
Look at it here.
and listen for the storm. You can hear the difference in the wind.
You don't have a mic.
Huh?
Is this you just to yell at me, or is this a bit?
No, I'm yelling at you.
This is not a bit.
All right, concrete
This is not a bit?
poured.
Alice, is this a bit?
Way harder than I thought it was gonna be. I'm never gonna do this again. We're gonna hire people out. All the beams are level, and they're good. It has a really nice, very purposeful, natural curve to the outdoor fencing. It just naturally curves like into the enclosure just a little bit, just to be very natural and inviting. It's gonna look so good, and definitely meant to do that. So now I gotta take that rebar that I cut, 170 pieces, stick it in the ground. Why doesn't concrete have a smell? Nick, this is exactly what I said. I miss having a buddy help run rods into different things and level out big, moist wood.
Yeah, love running rods and the big moist wood. Yep.
Yeah. How did I do that? There's no way I did that math wrong. Did you hear that I have Milwaukee boots now? Yeah, this is embarrassing in front of all the internet. Why did I just hear thunder? I can hear siren all the way up here. Is Maya talking shit about me? Kayla finished this. She anchored in all, like half of the rebar in here, and then smoothed
You want
out
to come
the
here?
concrete. But
Hi, baby.
we've got a nice base enclosure now. I never want to do this again.
What you doing? Pretty
I'll be
cute.
honest.
Do not get on my food. Shelf.
This is the new pathway. She's over it.
Come here.
Okay, this is Push Pop's inside space in her enclosure. You might notice there's this like little pool of dirt, right? This is sandy soil. It's a dig box. So there are 2x4s buried underground, kind of in like a sandbox shape, and then sandy soil in it so that she can.
What are
dig
you
in there.
doing?
She has very
Come here.
special lighting in here. On the wall,
go.
you can see there's two like orangey lights.
Nope.
Those are for heat. And then she has UVB lights hanging down, those two black lights.
What are you doing?
And then
I
up
feel you
above
doing
on
something.
the ceiling,
No!
there's UV
Don't be on that
light
shelf,
for
monster.
her. UV.
No, no,
Wow,
no.
she's like on the move.
Ah, my
She's checking
headphones.
it out. She loves it.
You gonna sit
Lucas
in your
can
chair?
definitely describe this better for you
sit in your
guys.
chair.
But
You sit in your
UV
chair and
is
I'll
very
sit in mine.
important for reptiles
Okay?
and us. You
How about
need
that?
vitamin
Is that
D3
good?
to metabolize calcium, and vitamin
Go,
D3
baby.
is synthesized
That's
through
my ball.
UV. So this
I have
lighting is meant to
a
mimic
weight ball for
like
the
a bright
gym
morning.
underneath my desk, and
And
I
it's
roll
a
it with
specific
my feet.
UV,
And sometimes
UV
she
index
notices it.
that's good for sulcata tortoises.
This is
So
Alice.
it's meant to
She's
mimic
only
a
about
bright
a year
morning,
old.
like in her
and she
where
is
she
very
would
new
live
to my
in
house.
Africa,
She's only been
right?
here for about 2
Inside
months.
this space, it'll stay at a low of 75 degrees at a high of 150
And she's a little
degrees.
needy.
So she can come in here. Oh, she's going to check out the plant. We have some plants out here. Again, all the plants, these were planted by
didn't know you
volunteers.
could walk
Shout out
around the
Alves volunteers. Thank you so much. These are Turk's caps. All of the plants on the outside are members of the hibiscus family. Turk's caps are edible. This is a bromeliad. Wow, wahoo. Don't ask me what that one is. Don't look at it. Over here, these are also hibiscus plants. Look, she has her own little garden outside. Wow, beautiful.
Hibiscus.
Beautiful. I'll show you why this particular
I like
cactus is
hibiscus
very
drinks.
lucky. Special
I
thanks
didn't
to
understand that.
Johansson's. We had
Well,
a
I
private
wasn't
donor that
talking to
came
you,
in and
so
helped sponsor
that would
this
be why.
enclosure. Minecraft developers and Minecraft also contributed to this enclosure, which is sick and very, very nice of them. Hooray for Mojang. Ta-da!
Hooray
Wow,
for Mojang.
cinema! Cinema! This is Push Pop's garden. She can't reach it yet, so everything in here will be fine. Don't worry. There's 3 different varieties of hibiscus in here. There's lavender in here, mulberry,
Aw,
there's Chrysandra and Mexican petunia.
Cassandra.
We have these hanging plants, and these are plants, thank you, Brian. These are plants that will end up hanging down and are plants that Push Pop can eat. So as they hang down, it'll be like enrichment all the time. So she can come up and grab the plants as they grow. Again, they'll hang down. I know.
Okay,
they're-
we're
they're
gonna
too
double
right now.
check
This
where.
is a fallen soldier. Not to like burst anybody's bubble. Push Pop has been in this outside part of the enclosure for like enrichment time during the day while we were working on it. And she found this cactus and she liked
Ate it.
You see? This is
You see? Turtle like cactus. Alright, Final Fantasy 10. Macalania Fiends. Ma'am, I said do not do that. Get down. Alice, that is the TV. What are you doing? Leave my decorations alone. That's not a cat toy. The cat toys are in that box that you climb in all the time. You want a cat toy? Okay, hold on. I got one. Do you want this one? Alice. Hey. 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 Do you want this? No. I'm gonna throw it at you anyway. Pine corn. Alice! Ugh. There you go. There's something to do. Oh, anyway, we're looking things up. Yes. We're going to... Is it Jeg? Is it Jegged? J-egged? I'm going to call it J-egged. That'll be fun. We got... I think we got all those. Oh, this thing. This thing, definitely. Okay. Maybe I just need to fight a bunch of these things. Okay, anyway.
This is Push Pop's pond. Lucas built this.
Get
also,
down!
so she can have a nice soak. What do you think, Push? Do you love it? What are you doing? So, other things in Push
I
Pop's
don't care if
enclosure.
you're
This is a
bored.
lipstick plant.
Do you want to go outside?
Right, same thing.
Out?
It'll hang down. Push Pop can
You
eat
wanna
it
go out?
for enrichment. So fun. This is a purple spiderwort. I like this one. That's cool. Wow.
I love it.
This is a watermelon vine. As far as I understand, it has nothing to do with watermelons. Another shelter. Underneath here, there's another dig box. More like sandy soil in there that she
Watermelon
can dig in.
vine.
Misters, so these are for the plants and the grass and stuff so that they stay growing. We got big camera. Oh wait, chat, check this out. Brand new camera.
We can't go in there. I'm pretty sure she will whoop my ass. Then everything I did
Connor
in the
left
last
that for me on
doesn't
purpose.
count.
You guys want to ask more?
Aw, turtle.
Guys, she loves it. Look at all this grass. That's a happy little tortoise. Also, tortoises are very, very good at digging. So there is a concrete moat buried around this enclosure underneath the fencing. Oh!
What are you doing? Stop that.
Oh!
If you break my blinds,
is
I'm gonna be
incredible.
really mad. What are you doing? Alright, hold on. The cat's trying to get into the cat food. Miss Alice, I demand you get down at once.
This is
I
incredible.
don't care. Get down.
Damn, I
Hold on.
come back, she's still eating.
Well, you're coming with me.
Get used to it, Chatters. Get used to it.
She's the problem child.
This is
Her.
your new life now too. You'll watch her all day.
We had
Eating.
lunch barely
used to
3
watch
hours
you,
ago.
like, 3
You're
years
not
ago,
starving.
LOL.
I'm
Okay,
not
thanks for saying
starving.
that. I've talked to YouTubers who, you know, had like a boom era on YouTube and then like kind of teetered off. And they've said when they go to conventions or when they meet viewers in public, they're like, the worst thing is when they come up and they're like, dude, like I used to love your videos, and you like never stop making videos, and you're like, thanks. But it like hurts your feelings. That's what I thought of when you said that.
Are you done?
Yeah. Are we sure she is
Time
a
to
she,
find
or will this be
something
like
else to get
Stompy?
into.
What's her expected max or ideal weight? So yeah, the issue is like I say between 100 and 200 pounds because the males can get a lot heavier, and we don't know for like absolutely sure that she's a female. We'll know when she's bigger.
Uh-oh.
Oh my gosh! Never mind. Lucas is certain Push Pop is a female. Oh no. Lucas is certain Push Pop is female.
Yay, Lucas.
This was Push Pop's enclosure reveal. I hope you guys loved it.
I
love
loved
this
it.
enclosure. It's so nice.
Yay. I love Alveus.
Check it out. What a lucky
Alveus
tortoise we
is
got
probably
here. Now
my
we'll be able to bring
favorite animal
collaborators in here
sanctuary.
too, which will be...
Besides Uncle Farmer Ben. Which I'm not caught up on right now because I've been a little busy, a little exhausted of my own bullshit. Alright, I quit. Oh, okay. I guess I am caught up, but I didn't watch the most recent one.
Boo Boo and the baby are fighting.
Skip it about and bottom. He was hit by a car.
Duking it out. Celebrity shot.
What the Sigma? Goodness, look at these little guys. Precious little fellas.
Hi, baby.
Yielding the nest to meat.
That's a dangerous dinosaur right there.
Guy thinks he's Spider-Man or something.
Good morning, everybody. It's a beautiful day here at the Urban Rescue
What you up to?
Branch. Nice and overcast.
Oh, Boo Boo's fighting the baby. What the heck? Boo Boo is on all fours fighting the baby.
Get out of my way, Garbanzo
Alice,
beans.
what are you doing?
Boo Boo and the baby
You come
are
sit with me?
fighting. What?
I traded the 3 little juvenile capybaras we had.
All 9 of these
You just wanna
deer,
sit
and they
there?
live in here right
I
now.
can move my...
Treating them with ivermectin for diseases.
Because somebody wild caught them on their property. But look at these weird things.
This
There
is
you go.
my little girlfriend. I think they're both fighting over this beautiful little woman here. Boo Boo and the baby duking it out over this precious little woman. It's funny that Boo Boo's actually fighting back. Probably are gonna have to separate these guys eventually, but I think Boo Boo is just
What are
a
you doing?
precious little baby and enjoys it.
Boo Boo and the baby duking it out.
That's right, you
Booby
guys.
and the
Boo Boo and the
baby.
baby fighting. Look at this little fake Patrick.
Fake Patrick loves coming over to investigate, but he wants no part in this.
What are you
But
touching?
you can tell these guys are just having fun. This is actually good enrichment for both of them. But this is what they do, you guys. They'll just duke it out like this for some reason.
What the Sigma?
This is the only place on YouTube where you can see a deer fighting a kangaroo and getting attacked by a black buck. Maybe not attacked, but you know.
Don't
just little
touch.
creatures. Probably gonna let the
We look
vultures
with our
out pretty
eyes,
soon.
not with
This
our
is just
paws.
a wild vulture that's hanging out here. Look at this, you guys. The leaves are back. The animals are being cringe and weird again. It's nice and overcast. My seasonal depression just disappears whenever all the leaves come back.
Oh,
What are you
thank
doing?
you, baby. I love that he just lets me hold his hand and kiss him. Oh,
What
that
are you
was the first
doing?
real kick he's given me. That was the first real kick the baby gave me since he got injured. Praise the Lord that all the animals are healthy and well and still alive. Look at little fake Patrick.
All the other animals are the new property, and I'll give you guys an update on that in the previous or the new video.
Why does he do this,
Excuse
you
me.
guys? Look at him. Is he just getting the zoom? What?
You know
He's
something
just
cool?
dancing.
My friends from the gym call him Diddy Lope.
Why is he doing this? That is the Axis and the black buck. Both of them were orphaned that came here, and they are both invasive species, and so are kangaroos. Technically, there are some invasive populations of kangaroos in Texas, but people usually catch them pretty quickly. Really, I think it's mostly males that people just don't want anymore because you don't need a lot of males. But these are fallow deer, and I'm trying to keep them separate because I don't want this little boy to get all kinds of fleas and nasty things. So I'm treating them all with ivermectin and pesticide.
And just like any other livestock, you don't need any permits to give them ivermectin from Tractor Supply.
Don't mind if I do.
Always dispose of your needles properly in this container.
I'm quarantining them in here with plenty of food.
And Boo Boo is now a little spider.
Look at this precious.
No, there's like a whole area
This
on
is
the
my
inside
quail
should be
pen.
able
I
to
have
run through,
infinite
too.
healthy quail in here that live very happily. They eat a dead fish every now and then, kind of gross. But so do these vultures, obviously. They love their fish. At this point, I'm just cleaning out my chest freezer of things I never use. That was supposed to be alligator guard bait, but Tank never took us fishing. Look at this, you guys. The quails love it over here.
Damn
They
it,
blend
Tank.
in super well. They actually live in this grass. And when they fly off, they'll just end up flying into the walls. It's super cute. And these guys don't kill them, I don't think. Probably. I don't think these guys kill the quail. If they do, it's okay, because I think that they are more important than quail even. That one just ran into me. Look at this little guy. This is my wise old friend, name of Turkey Vulture, who lives here in the corner of the
Turkey
flight
Vulture.
pad. He was hit by a car and is very slow. This guy came in, his face was destroyed. And I'll show you guys a little clip of that here.
How far can I
Beautiful
go?
little turkey vulture in the drop box today.
Fuck.
Oh, he might have a concussion. We're gonna have to put him in an incubator. Okay, little bro's wings are indeed healthy, and this eye is open and looking around. I think he might be okay. But he's probably got a concussion,
Go
so we're
out
gonna
there.
put him in a nice warm area so he can regulate his body temperature better. And now he's doing so much better, and he has his little black vulture friends who I'm pretty sure get along with him. At least it looks like they get along. Boo-boo moment. This is my dog.
What's up?
This is our first ever
Do you
turkey
wanna go
vulture.
outside?
Isn't that cool? They're a little bit browner. They're a little bigger. They've got a sharper beak for ripping open
No.
prey a little bit
Get off your
better.
counter.
These guys have much stronger jaws,
No,
even though
you
they have
don't
a
need to be on the
completely
counter.
different disposition. And look, their
Do you wanna go
eyes are
outside?
different. These guys have soulless
come on.
little black eyes. Like, you can just look at these things and tell, oh, that thing doesn't have a soul. But this one does. And this poor soul has been through a lot.
And I'm gonna put you through a lot if you don't like this video.
And I'ma put you through a lot if you don't like this video.
But look at how he's just letting me touch his face.
Outside on the
Honestly
porch,
incredible.
doing
They had to
porch
force feed him because he was stupid and wouldn't eat it all. I think I'm gonna let these mesquite trees grow in here so we, ow, ow. Bro, these things suck. Look at it, oh, they're attacking each other. Why are they attacking each other? But this is basically the nicest vulture enclosure in the world. And it's
No
so
fights in
nice
here.
for these guys that random
I'm not going
vultures
down
I
there.
didn't
It'll
even
be a dark
raise
aeon,
tried to
and
get
it'll
in
beat my
here. But
ass,
the
and
quail
it'll
love
suck.
all this grass. As soon as this grows up, they're gonna love it even more. These guys have infinite dead things for me to feed them. We take care of our vultures very well here because we know they do the hard work, cleaning up the ecosystem whenever everything's gross. But you can see here the pond is finally coming back. All of the aquatic vegetation is coming back, so pretty soon the pond is going to get filtered and cleaned again. When everything dies, it stops filtering the water. But now all we got is new Patrick, the baby, and Boo Boo, and they have this whole area to themselves. Lost the SpongeBob croc there. I also have these two cappies here that are randomly friends with the peacock for some reason. They love sitting with the peacock and hanging out with him. The Bonzo Beans has this whole place to himself, and his wife is somewhere in the woods or over here having a nest. And the beaver that we used to have living in here made a big lodge that went underground here into the wood. And because of that, this pond is filling out into the woods here. These guys are now at that perfect age where they can just kind of go wherever they want. Don't have to worry about them escaping because they can't fit through the holes. Don't have to worry about a hawk or an owl just picking them up anymore. So now they just get to hang out everywhere and live on the property. Also, Ouncetopia is thriving. The fella doesn't trust me very much, even though I liberated him from a little metal cage. And these prairie dogs spent their entire lives in tiny metal cages until now. Karen and Kevin are still here. Big, strong man who's not even aggressive towards me, who's just taking care of his eggs. You can see from his eyes, his body language, he sees me as another male. And with Rhea, it's the males that incubate the eggs. And right now he's yielding the nest to me to take care of if I want to, so he can walk around and be cringe. That is a lot of eggs, you guys. Look at all of them. And Karen laid most of these. That one at least is very fresh. Look how slow and careful he is about sitting down on that nest. And this is how a wild male prairie dog will protect his den. But today's the big day, Sigmas. We are taking all of these eggs and putting them in the incubator, and we're releasing those cringe bobcats. This is my dog, Boo Boo. And Karen just has free roam wherever she wants to go here. Whoa, but first we have to fire up this incubator. This is Peanut, you guys. The actual Peanut. This is Peanut but alive, I call him. The late famous Peanut the squirrel was a fugitive from justice. As such, needed to be put down. Zachariah here is a precious little fella that won't be able to go back to the wild because he's a little too imprinted on people. He will do a great job of teaching people about the species. He's still not quite at the age where we can put him outside into a flight pen yet because he still has a less than bushy tail. Greedy little squirrel here eats all the nuts. Okay, now this incubator is almost heated up. I'm gonna go grab all the Rhea eggs and put them in here. But this is his precious little temporary setup, and we don't have any other squirrels that are his size to begin with. Stupid Poggers always jumps in through the window to sit in the car. Look at this beautiful young boy.
I love Poggers.
These eggs. Problem is, it's gonna start raining in the next couple days, and we need to get these out of here before they turn into a pile of mud. All of these eggs are currently being incubated, and they've been incubated for about a week and a half. So they should be developing already. Actually, just kidding. We're gonna leave him 5 eggs so he can hatch 5 of his own. But this egg I'm gonna boil inside. If you guys wanna see that, you're gonna have to subscribe. And this one's a twin. We're gonna boil both of these. All right, everybody, we got a good amount in here. This year we're gonna see who can do it better, me or Kevin's son. Greetings, Sigmas. We're back at it again. I still need to get the collars off these precious little bobcats. Take a look in here. Come on, stick the phone down in there real deep. Yeah. Oh, they cut that collar off your face. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. Well, we lost one. Good thing that was the one that already lost his collar, right, guys? Hey, let's just go ahead and put on this other glove. Sorry, camera guy. Looks like you got a little cut up there. That's not too bad. Okay, now we just went ahead and sharpened these scissors. Hopefully these ones will be better. Let's take a look at those wounds. Not too bad. Oh boy, another day, another several baby bunnies of all different shapes and sizes. Oh, precious little baby bunnies. And a ton of little possums that someone pulled out of the pouch of the mom. Perfect. Oh, it sure is real nice here in the reptile. Yeah, there definitely aren't hundreds of biting horseflies for some reason. We also have this precious little alligator now, you guys, and he can't swim underwater because his head has gas in it. I'm not sure how we can help him, honestly. We've done this with turtles with airs trapped in their shells, but we've never taken care of a baby gator with gas stuck in his skull. I don't know if we can help this little fella. Look how precious he is. Beautiful little boy. Just finished eating 2 of these. Look at that. Beautiful dinosaur. That's a dangerous dinosaur right there. Look at him eating those little... Yeah, beautiful bull. And we're back, you guys. Time to go ahead and catch these guys, get those collars off them. I got these scissors that I just sharpened. Okay, let's see if you can get them, Ian. Come on. Just go ahead and, just go ahead and grab them, buddy. It's not that hard. This guy works for animal control. He knows a thing or two. Don't need a real capture pole. Oh, this guy thinks he's Spider-Man or something. Blood Widow, he thinks he's Spider-Man. Blood thinks he's Miles Morales. Don't worry, I got you. Gotcha. All right, get him quick. No! Freaky little bobcat always has his tongue out all the time. Freaky little bobcat. Ooh, almost got him. I guess we got 3 bobcats over here. Celebrity shot. Oh my gosh, is that Shardiana 54 from TikTok? Oh, you guys aren't very good at this. Yeah, just see if you can get them in the net. Come on. Yeah,
it looks horrible, but like these bobcats will never go by humans ever again.
We're
so that's
definitely
good.
making them not like people right
now.
Now, none of you armchair wildlife rehabbers can get triggered at us about making these guys too friendly. Oh, looks like we got this one. Don't worry, guys. I'm here to save the day. I got the scissors. This is me doing all the work, you guys. Oh, beautiful little fella. Here, go lift that. Look at this, you guys. Isn't this amazing? This is God's little special native wild cat that we have. Much cooler than those cringe little feral cats. Yeah, perfect. All right, well, let's see if we could cut off that little collar there. Last time we ever put collars on a baby bob. Greetings, Sigmas! Today we are cutting off collars from these little bobcats that we've raised for the last several months. Now we only have 2 more bobcats to capture.
Why'd you put a collar on there?
It's basically just Tibby, but horrible. Look, you guys, it's just a little wild bobcat. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and put this little guy in here first. All right, good. Lift him up. There we go. Perfect. As you guys can see, I did that all by myself, and these guys are right where we want them to be. Okay, we just got a call about a bunch of baby coyotes, but it's probably just someone LARPing with a bunch of baby puppies they don't want. It sure is a little scary. Okay, don't like that. Oh, I don't like that. Blood thinks he's widowy Miles Morales or something. This bobcat's making me a little bit angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. Are you filming?
Yeah.
All right, you guys, it's time to catch this. Time to catch this freaky out slob.
Schlopcat, let's go, Schlopcat.
We got. Oh, looks like his head is out of the thing.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I got him. That's the important thing, right? Just go ahead and pin him down. Oh, excuse me. Just a little titty at one point, you guys. Look at this. We had them growing up in my house. Now they are angry and horrible and ready to go right back to the wild. A lot more dangerous than I thought it was going to be. Boy thinks he's Miles Morales or something. All right, there we go. All right, now I'm going to get this one as quick as I can.
While many of you may think this is mean, it's actually crucial to make sure they have a healthy fear of humans before release.
Oh! Okay, let's put him in there quick. Oh! Guess he got out again. Okay, it doesn't matter. Let's get him again.
Now we can guarantee these bobcats will not approach people in the wild.
Whoa, looks like he wanted to get in there in that last bit. What do you guys think about that? Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you like this kind of content.
Animals are
okay,
dangerous.
These guys are officially decollared and ready to release. Let's go! Gee, I've gotten 5 calls since we filmed that last segment.
After that, someone called about 5 baby foxes that their dog brought them back from a nest.
But all right, everybody, this is a couple thousand acres of wilderness area out here that we can release these precious little creatures on, where there's infinite little frogs and beavers and other little things for them to hunt. There's also tons of ground nesting birds like killdeer out here, perfect for these little fellas to murder. Oh, excuse me. All right, you're free. Get out. You're done. Free ride's over. Infinite free food glitch for you is over. All right, there's one. It's time for you to go back to the wild now, children. Let's go. Okay. Oh, there they go. Watch out, guys. They're running for you. Oh, he just jumped in the water.
And believe it or not, bobcats are actually excellent swimmers, and they're good at fishing and catching ducks on the water.
Oh, spicy little boy.
Catching ducks on the water is insane.
Okay, it's time for you to leave. I'm not sure I like you. Oh, I'm not sure I like you anymore, sir. Okay, Sigmas, we're out here in the middle of nowhere. As I told you before, bobcats love water.
There's also tons of ducks in this area for them to hunt. And because it's large and privately owned, no one will ever hunt these guys as long as they stay on the acreage.
Yep, just released our first 5 bobcats. I'd say this is a cause for celebration. What do you think, Ian? Oh, look at that one, you guys. He's way over there on that island. Look how far away he is. Precious little Bob Tibby way out there on that island. And he is going to be just fine out there. There's no hunters at all in this area. There's this giant creek that these bobcats can grow up in and hang out in and hide in, with infinite bunnies and deer and other little things to hunt in here. All right, what do we give the best release spots to my favorite animals?
Oh my goodness, look at these little guys.
I'd say they're probably about 3 days old. Okay, this makes it official. We got 30 animals in the mail today. I don't even film over half the stuff we get now. But I got a team of lovely old ladies that I have working for me to take care of most of these animals.
And this is my dog. Look at these little quills. Now Peanut has a little friend.
But I love you guys, I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next video. Ooh, almost forgot to tell you. Also, come visit our booth at the Waco Farmers Market every Saturday.
Well, if he hits it, it's fine. I'm just gonna get y'all to hit things. Oh, you're blind. That was a terrible move. My bad. I'm making terrible choices. Alright, we are going to skip your turn. We're going to switch to Riku. Special, nope. Use. It's not a problem anymore. Oh, they're still blind. Ruthless. I thought it cured that, I guess not. Oof. Thank you. Easy. That was a lot of energy. This is what happens when you try to throw things at people. Can I get a napkin? She's like, take your drink.
Yeah, towel.
The blood of my enemies.
Thank you. Ba 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 ba. Wow. Alright. Just something chill we can watch. Nice. I think I need to stand up. Getting a little drowsy. One of the most aggressive dogs I've ever worked on. Hell yeah.
Treat? You just took one. You don't want one? Here, take treat. He just took one.
It's funny because she's the girl with the
so
dogs, but she's like always grooming cats. At least those videos that I see.
He has been getting fully groomed except for his paws and his nails. They cannot get that done. So obviously he's giving them some trouble for that. So we'll see if I can do it. The owner wanted to bring him here today to see if I could accomplish it and figure out how to accomplish it for future groomings. But we don't know. I don't know if I'll be able to. He might be a lot more difficult than he was the previous time I groomed him. I'm not sure. Because I know of his history, I'm not taking any chances. He's staying in the muzzle, and I'm putting him on the groomer's helper. Good boy. Apparently, at the previous salon, he spun around very, very hard and actually bruised the other groomer. So the reason why he is on the groomer's helper is so he cannot spin. I don't think he is going to willingly stand. So, before I go ahead and force him to stand, which is going to make him very uncomfortable, I am going to go ahead and try this back paw with him sitting. This paw here has been x-rayed and he has a bone spur with some arthritis, and he may need to have part of his knuckle amputated, so I know that this paw is in pain, so I'm going to do this paw at the very end. It's okay, buddy. Okay, now your nails are actually not very long at all. Oh, it's okay. Nope, we are not going to do that, sir. Good boy. Nope. Nope.
Nope.
Nope. Nope. exactly what I wanted him to do. Good stand, Yogi. It's okay. It's okay, buddy. It's okay.
Haha.
Don't worry.
My trap card. You've activated my trap card.
I didn't want to force him to stand. I wanted him to do that on his own, because sometimes when you take your hand and you force a dog to stand that is very uncomfortable, they sit to try to keep themselves more calm. You can actually cause them more stress. He is not wagging his tail right now because he's happy. He's wagging his tail because he is extremely anxious.
Wow.
Good boy. No growling. This behavior is completely different from the first time I groomed him.
I'm done. You gotta train your dogs. Anything you don't show your dog how to do, he don't know how to do.
Okay, so this behavior is completely unacceptable. Completely unacceptable. His muzzle is not bite-proof, so I am going to not change it. I'm not taking this muzzle off. I do not trust him, but I'm going to put a larger muzzle over top of his existing muzzle just for a little bit of added protection. Trying to keep my head away from him in case he spins up. I don't want to get knocked in the face by his snout. That would be very painful. I don't think that he is medicated. I think that maybe he should be medicated before grooming. I can ask, maybe they did medicate him, but he definitely needs some anxiety medication or sedation before he is going to the grooming salon. I don't want him winning this fight because the more he wins it, the worse he's going to get. And thinking that he sets the rules and everybody has to listen to him.
Pretty much. Nope, just gotta power through it and not cause any damage.
In my professional opinion, a dog like this should not be going to a groomer. It should be sedated at a vet clinic. For the safety of the animal and the safety of the groomer, this is way too aggressive behavior. Good boy. Good boy.
Farewell. No time to waste. Let's go.
She has the tools and the training, but a lot of people are not prepared for that.
something not quite right about this dog. I'm gonna try one more thing, and that is having the owner in here with me, which is not something that I normally do. I want her to see firsthand what's going on and why this is something that should not be done at a grooming salon. He's very aggressive. I think he did not do that the last time that I groomed him. Will he bite you?
When I put up his paw, he literally attacked me. I had to run outside.
Okay, so back up for a second. I'm gonna show you what he does when I touch his back paw, okay? This is better.
I hate when a dog owners are like, it's okay. It's literally not. If it was okay, we wouldn't have to talk about it.
I just don't want people
Like, just let the dog express himself. No one's listening.
I was petting him like this, and he was okay. But
Dog owners and pet owners are so annoying.
is he on any medications?
No, not anymore. I was on the Medicam and said pain thing. Jeez.
Yeah.
That's enough.
Back up, and I will take this stuff off.
Ugh. I can't stand dogs. That's enough. Like, that did anything other than fuck up the interaction you're having with your dog. Show me grooming a horse. Poor girl. She had to take away from dogs and go groom a horse.
A lot of you asked me to share this video on my main channel to help it reach more people. So here it is. If you're interested in the longer, uncensored version, you'll find it linked in the description over on my vlog channel, Girl with Her Dogs. Last month, I had the privilege of visiting Equine Healing Collaborative, a truly special nonprofit that serves both animals and people. It's a sanctuary where rescued animals find peace and where people receive compassionate mental health care in a unique, non-traditional setting.
Hi everybody, my name is Jennifer Fenton and I am the Executive Director of the Equine Healing Collaborative. And we are a nonprofit organization that provides equine-assisted psychotherapy. So we provide mental health services using all of our rescue horses, dogs, cats, goats, and pigs. And we are currently facing some pretty significant challenges. We live on this beautiful 56-acre sanctuary for our 45 plus rescue horses, and unfortunately currently it has been listed for sale, and so we are currently in the process of doing fundraising. We would love to purchase this place. We want to stay here forever because again, this is a sanctuary for all of our rescue animals as well as the hundreds of people who come here monthly for help. And so we're just kind of reaching out to the public and we're asking for their help. We are very much a grassroots organization. We do not have large donors or funders. Every time that we've ever run into any kind of financial issue, it's usually folks from the grassroots who help us. So we reached out to Vanessa from Girl with the Dogs and we invited her to come down to our sanctuary to see if she might be interested in learning how to groom a horse. And we're very grateful that we have the possibility to reach all of the folks who follow her and who have followed her for years. You are welcome to find out more information about our nonprofit at equinehealing.org.
Good to know.
And you can
Good to
follow
know.
the links below to follow us on social media.
You're about to have the opportunity to watch me groom this beautiful white horse. Before we dive in, I'd like to invite everyone to follow the Equine Healing Collaborative on social media and, if possible, contribute to their fundraiser. You can find the links in the description and in the comments of this video. Even if you can't donate, engaging with their content can still support their sanctuary.
So we provide equine-assisted psychotherapy here, and
That's an
essentially
ugly
what
link,
that
but
means
okay.
is it kind of takes people out of the traditional therapeutic setting, and rather than sitting in an office, they actually get to be in the outdoors, working with our animals. You can see I'm here with Bo, who is one of our rescues, and he's being quite
It's a donkey.
affectionate right now. Most of the folks who come here are folks from low socioeconomic backgrounds, and we just want to make sure
Po
that they
folk
have access
like
to
me.
excellent mental health services. And again, utilizing all of our rescue animals as part of their treatment. This is Nutter, and Nutter does our program called Mini Horses, Big Feelings. And Nutter goes into schools and he does educational programs on mental health. He is able to be my representative as I'm giving a presentation on mental health, what it is, defining it for kids, and then also teaching them how to ask for help. And then once I give my talk, we have a little round pen. And so we invite the kids to come in and they're allowed to do a mindfulness activity with our minis. So Nutter does mindfulness with the kiddos.
I had the honor of meeting with the therapists and volunteers at the sanctuary. Each person shared inspiring stories about the lives that have been positively transformed through their experience on the farm. One particular story resonated with me, shared by Bailey, an associate marriage and family therapist who has been a part of the team for the past 3 years.
I had the privilege of working with a 14-year-old who had been in therapy for 2 years. It was court-ordered that she attend therapy because her parents were going through a bad divorce and all of the kids were required to attend. Her mother brought her here because she had been attending therapy at another location for 2 years, and she was terminated and let go from the agency because she had made no progress. For 2 years, she sat in a room and did not speak to the therapist. And they were brought here as kind of a last resort. This 14-year-old had isolated herself. She was not doing well in school, was unable to really speak about what was going on, and would spend most of her time alone in her room, clearly depressed, clearly struggling. I worked with her for 10 months. 10 months of nothing. She would not speak to me, but she would do the things that I asked. She would groom a horse. She would interact with the horse. She didn't say anything to them, but she would brush them. And so every week for an hour, she would come and she would brush a horse. And eventually I stopped asking questions that she wasn't going to answer them. And I just let that be okay. And I did tell her she wasn't doing therapy wrong. She was coming because she was court ordered. That didn't mean she had to participate. We just groomed. She'd leave. She'd come back the next week. We'd groom. She'd leave. And then one day she looked at me and she said, "Bailey, I don't know what to do about my dad." And she started talking. And 2 years later, she has not stopped talking. It turned out she was still being abused terribly by her father. He was being physically and psychologically and emotionally abused. She was being beaten on a regular basis. Once she felt safe, once she was provided a safe place, we listened. She was saying so much in her silence. But once she started verbally talking,
no one took her
we
seriously,
found
so
out
she shut
what
the
was
fuck
going
up.
on. We were
Been
able
there,
to
done that.
become involved. There was an emergency cease of visitation. That was one of the last days that she was required to see her father. 2 years later, she has friends. She's doing amazing in school. She has all of these activities. She's super into sports. She's extremely outgoing. She has a chance at life and a chance to be a regular functioning human because this place gave her the space and gave her the safety that she needed. Most other places, they're going to terminate services if you don't make any progress. When we don't give a timeline, everyone is on their own healing journey and on their own timeline. Currently, we serve just over 400 clients. That's current. That's not to mention the hundreds, probably over 1,000 clients that we've seen in the past 9-10 years that we've been open. Not only does what we do impact these 400 people, but how many people do they touch? Their families, their children, their grandchildren. How did this impact their lives, their work, their careers, that then filters out and expands? And the good that this place does is unmeasured in that way, not just for this community, but for this country and for this world. And we need to stay open for that.
Now, without any delay, let's dive into the behind-the-scenes world of horse care and grooming. I must admit, this was my first time getting really up close and personal with horses, and it felt a little daunting, so please bear with me.
So this is our tack room. In here, we have boxes for every single one of our, you don't need the cat food, for every single one of our horses. Everything's color-coded, and every single horse has their own box. So the reason we do that is twofold. First of all, we use the boxes to kind of drive home the clinical point around mental health and mental health conditions, that the condition in and of itself is problematic for people, and so the response to that is to take better care of yourself. And so a huge theme here as far as treatment is you learn how to take care of yourself by taking care of these animals. So it's much easier for somebody, say for example with depression, to have compassion for, empathy for a rescue horse, a rescue dog, than it is for them to maybe have some compassion and empathy for themselves. So what we do is we kind of start the process by talking about care. And so we take care of these animals, and we take care of them in a very specific and organized way.
They're gonna lose the farm.
And so it starts with this box, and it also starts with
And so they reached out to Grow with the Dogs. It's like, you want to come check out our horses and understand our program they have out here.
Color-coded, so like this is Brandon's box here. So he has a curry comb, a mane and tail comb, a halter, a dandy brush, a soft brush, and
they gave an example of a girl who was in regular therapy for like 2 years.
So we're going to start the
said
session
anything in
out
2
with
years,
this,
so they
and we're gonna
terminated
start with
services
like a
because she wasn't
grooming
quote unquote making
part
progress.
of the session. And then when grooming
so they
is
brought
done,
her out to the
we clean our
horses for like 10
brushes,
months, and she didn't
we
say anything.
put our hoof pick back, we
But
put the
every
box
week
back
for her
essentially the
hour
same way
of
that we
court-ordered
found
therapy,
it.
because
And so
her
what
parents
that
were
does
really
is
bad
just
divorce.
by virtue of
She'd
not
come out
even
and she'd
necessarily
groom horses like
addressing
she
it
was
with
told
somebody,
to.
it teaches them
And
this
after 10
idea
months,
of ritual and routine
she finally
as a means of
busted wide
self-care.
open and told him what was going on.
We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start grooming him. I'm just gonna show you
It's
just
the
really
dad.
quickly, like kind of basic grooming horse supplies. So we have shedding.
When is it
basically it's like
not?
a shedding comb. This we're gonna
When
use
it's the
to kind of get
mom.
like all of the crunchies off of him. Okay. And his bottom might come towards you. There you go. And just like I said, just kind of dancing with horses. There you go. Perfect.
I'm a little short, but
it's okay.
I use one of those in my snack. The
I'm
curry
gonna
comb.
treat him like he's gonna bite me, so my hand is
He's
ready to
rumbling.
block at all times. And I'm just gonna move around him. If he does that and makes you uncomfortable, it's okay for you to just block him.
Okay.
Yeah. And he knows.
Like that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
There you go. So he's asking you
To
to
stop?
clean his sheath.
Oh. Coming
so that's
soon.
okay. You can just go ahead and just keep going up the leg there. And you're just going to use this blue shampoo, and I'm going to give you a lot. And so you're just going to take both those hands and wrap it around that tail and see how happy this horse is.
I don't know. I can't tell. I don't know horses, but I'll take your word for it.
He's not moving. He's not moving. And so he's letting you know, like, hey, I'm down with what you're doing here. And now you're going to take this just to wash his legs with. Good boy. I'm sorry, I can't help it. I talk to my horses.
You what?
I just talk to my horses like this.
I mean, I talk to the dogs too, but right now I'm just like focusing on not dying. So.
He's being such a good boy
He is.
for you. He likes you, Vanessa.
Oh, good.
We're gonna actually clean his sheath now. So this opening right here is essentially where the is, and the just entirely retracts up into this area. And it may just be that we have to just start cleaning, and you can smell that. It stinks. We're gonna just get a little bit of this shampoo here, and I'm gonna go ahead and put it on your hand. That's okay. And so you're just gonna go ahead and you're gonna start by putting the shampoo in there, and you're just gonna kind of go around in this area here. And you're just gonna reach under there. Just go on in, you can do it.
Her face. Oh dear God. This is interesting.
Phoebe's gonna eat whatever falls out.
Oh dear. Is it going to come out?
Yeah, yeah.
She can't handle this. You're welcome, YouTube.
And so what we're gonna do is once you get some soap up in there and you just really kind of get around in that area, we're actually gonna take the hose up there.
Okay, let's do
and
that.
I'll show you how to do that. And I'm
Is
gonna
that dirt?
No.
Oh,
it is not
please.
dirt.
You could have told me that it was.
It's not. It's actually dead skin. So I'm gonna have you kind of stay off to the side and just pull this tail over.
Oh God.
Okay, so
Oh,
the
Lord.
next thing I'm going to teach you is how to pick a horse's feet. Okay, so this is a hoof pick. So I always start up here, and when I'm starting up here, I'm essentially saying, would you please consider the possibility of giving me your foot? And notice how he said yes.
And then try to eat your phone.
Yes. And so I'm gonna hold on to the hoof, the actual hoof, and I'm just gonna get in here and I'm gonna pry. And the horse's foot has a V shape in it, and this again is the frog. He has shoes because his size, he's too big. His body is literally too big on these feet to support it. If we were to take these shoes off, what ends up happening is he wears down the wall so much that he becomes what we call farrier laminitic. And so he gets to be in like a lot of pain. Take your hand all the way down and now kind of push into him a little bit. So push your body into him a little bit. There you go. And now grab a hold of it when he gives it to you. So he's trying really hard to give it to you. There you go. And grab the hoof, not the leg.
Okay.
Excellent.
And up?
Yep. And that's perfect.
That's it?
That's it. You're done. Excellent. You did it!
Hey, that was fun. Is that it?
That's basically it.
We're done with the horse.
We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna let his tail dry out a little bit. And then once it gets dry, we're gonna run a brush through it, and it's just gonna be absolutely gorgeous.
Okay. Ma'am, sir, I don't know, are you a ma'am or sir? Sir, excuse me.
Give her that back.
Attack of the goat.
Oh my gosh.
You are the menace that jumps.
Yes.
Why do you like my jacket?
Thanks for helping save our sanctuary. Bye.
Today, we're grooming a very special dog with a very special story. Meet Louie, a sweet, energetic 3-year-old French bulldog.
He's so cute. So Louis panics over the water nozzle, so we are not going to use that today. And he is also afraid of duck, so we're not going to use duck today either. Okay, I'm just going to pour this on you. Okay? It's okay. It's just water. You do need a bath, sir. Oh, I'm not gonna wash Louis' face today. Are you gonna drink it? Oh, he's thirsty. Okay, I'll get you some fresh water in a minute. One sec. I'm not gonna wash Louis' face today because he has an ear infection and I don't want to put moisture down his ear canal, so just his body. And we're not gonna use duck, but I am gonna use the shampoo inside of it. And we're gonna do Nasty Critter today. Yeah, boy. And a good wash, and your skin is very dry. Good boy.
Louie used to be just like any other dog, running, playing, and getting into mischief with his best friend, my dog Lupa. But 2 months ago, everything changed. Louie was diagnosed with a condition called IVDD, which led to sudden paralysis, and now he gets around with the help of a wheelchair. So, what is IVDD? IVDD stands for invertible disc disease.
Oh boy.
It's a spinal condition that affects the discs between a dog's vertebrae.
Oh, good shake.
These discs can become damaged and herniated, putting pressure on the spinal cord. That pressure can cause pain, nerve damage, and in severe cases like Louie's, paralysis.
No, no, no. I don't want you moving around too much. It's just water, man.
IVDD can come on quickly and unexpectedly. And while some dogs recover with rest, medication, or surgeries, others may not regain mobility. Sadly, the chances of Louie walking again are low, but that hasn't stopped his spirit one bit.
Yeah, you don't even want me touching your face. Good thing we didn't wash it. With his eye drops and his ear meds, he's probably like, get away from my face. I'm shedding quite a bit. All right, let's see how you do with the small little dryer.
When picking Louie up, special hand placement under the front and back legs is necessary to prevent pressure on his spine.
I am going to blow dry Louie a little bit. He is scared of loud noises, really, when it comes to grooming, so I don't want him to panic and potentially hurt himself. So just enough to where he is not really, really wet. I know you don't like it.
Let's be honest, French Bulldogs are a lovable breed, but they do come with their share of health challenges. From breathing difficulties, allergies, eye problems, and spinal conditions, They require a bit of extra care and attention to keep them happy and healthy. It's worth noting that IBDD is more common in certain breeds, like French Bulldogs, Dachshunds, and Corgis. But responsible breeding can make a difference. Reputable breeders who prioritize health and avoid breeding dogs with spinal issues can help reduce the risk, but not eliminate it. So if you're considering getting a Frenchie, always do your homework. Choose a breeder who puts health first, and for the love of dog, please get pet insurance.
Treat? Yeah. Good boy. I don't got no more. What are you, choking on it? Like, are you okay? Did you even chew it? So I'm keeping him in this harness to do his nails, just to give him more stability. Good boy. Does not like when I lift his paw, so I'm going to try to do his nails without lifting his paw. It's okay. It's okay, it's okay. Don't panic. No panicking. No panicking. Oh, he just bit me. I was just not expecting that. Yes. Excuse me. That is not nice. He farted again. Okay, so how are we gonna clip your nails? Because I don't want you to squirm too much. I know you don't like it. Oh. Why are you biting for your nails?
We're gonna have to have a conversation when we get home.
You don't bite for your nails.
You've never done
No.
it. You're not a biter.
I mean, he is a French Bulldog though, so they all hate their nails. It's okay. I don't want to clip them too short because then he's never going to forget it. Good boy. Good boy. Distracted by the litter treats. Let me brush you. Oh, he has Kong toys, doesn't he? So he thinks it's a Kong toy. Because it's good boy. I can't believe how dry you got. I'm just gonna avoid the patch there. I think I need to go over that area.
Louis did undergo spinal surgery, which cost over $10,000. And while the procedure was a crucial step, his recovery journey is far from over.
I like the brushing.
Farewell.
I was leaning into it. You can't eat it. It's not your toy.
If you'd like to support his ongoing care, we've included a link in the description for his GoFundMe. You can also catch more of Louis' story on my vlog channel, Girl With Her Dogs, where we'll be sharing an upcoming video.
The only way to find out if what I've done is truly cursed is to assess it with a pure being. Okay, wow, she really doesn't want to give it a chance at all. That can't be a good sign. For whatever reason, when I see this, I want to become this. Clickers and infected in general in The Last of Us probably have the most compelling zombie design I've ever seen. Something about the intersection of body horror and a biological pseudoscience explanation of how the zombies work makes my creature design loving brain obsessed. It also doesn't hurt that The Last of Us has an extremely beautiful story and never fails to make me cry.
So with the release of season 2 of the show reigniting my obsession and urge to replay the game, I thought it is finally time to turn myself into a clicker. But it wouldn't be a Kira crafting video without giving the design just a little bit more seasoning. I make just about anything into a corset on my channel, and I've been wanting to make some kind of clicker inspired look for a while now. Think clicker, but she's trying to look her best for a night out. So let's brainstorm a little bit with the design.
So obviously I wanted to keep to my roots by making the base of this look a weird corset. I wanted to go for an asymmetrical design to give the fungi growing off of the corset a bit of a natural flow. I also want to make this a little bit of a stash busting project, so I want to give the corset a slate skirt with tattered fabrics hanging off of it from my stash. You could probably even make this part of the clicker's backstory by saying she was infected during a prom or some kind of formal event. Weirdly enough, some of my inspiration for this design was also the Silent Hill nurses, so I wanted to keep some of the feminine appeal intact by going for long gloves, heeled shoes, and a deeper neckline, but I also wanted to add plenty of gore by giving her a partially exposed ribcage, hip, and plenty of cordyceps and other fungi growing off of her. I know technically the infection is supposed to prevent decomposition, so maybe she was just injured before the infection fully took hold. I also, of course, wanted to keep the iconic clicker look of the busted skull with fungi growing out of it, so I pulled that from various concept art from the game, but made it my own. The paint job for this is going to be just real fun and super gross, and I can't wait.
Speaking of gross, if you've been rotting away in an apocalypse for over 2 decades, you probably absolutely reek, but you can smell incredible by using this video's sponsor, Scentbird. I am someone who has had a tremendous amount of trouble finding scents that I actually like, and I did find one a couple of years back, and then it got discontinued. Thankfully, Scentbird sent me 4 fragrances to try. 2 I selected myself, and 2 were surprises. Do you want to know what they are? I selected Cherry Bomb by Confessions of a Rebel, and Viva la Juicy Noir by Juicy Couture.
Cherry Bomb has notes of cherry liqueur, black cherry, ripe strawberry, sugared praline, and vanilla woods, making it a very sweet, fruity scent with a small hint of woodiness, perfect for a picnic or park day. Viva la Juicy Noir has scents of berries, vanilla caramel, honeysuckle, and gardenia, giving it a juicy floral scent with a hint of sweetness that isn't too overpowering, making it perfect for a night out.
My 2 surprise scents were, I'm gonna butcher this, but Maison Louis Marie's number 14 Isola and Dead Cool's Aura.
Aura is fresh and woodsy with notes of pear, cedar, caramel, jasmine, and vanilla, making it a great everyday scent. And number 14 Isola might be the scent I use the most. The notes of ruby pamplemousse, jasmine, Bulgarian rose, dark plum, and vanilla flower are mature and sultry, making it perfect for a date night and making me feel like a mysterious widow.
Scentbird's packaging is also small and easy to carry with you wherever you go, and their cases easily lock and unlock to prevent leaks. I've actually been wanting to try Scentbird for a while now since I've been on my own personal fragrance quest, so it's great that it's affordable, and it also minimizes the risk of committing to a full-size fragrance before you know it's right for you.
Your first month is only $8, and after that, subsequent months are less than $17, and their selection of over 900 fragrances is both diverse and flexible. They offer recognizable brand options like Prada and Versace, and also more niche labels like Parfums, De Marley, and Roja, so it's great if you know what you like or you're completely new to fragrances. If you don't know where to start, you can also take a scent quiz to help you experiment with scents that will offer you personalized selections based on your preferences, and you'll receive a 30-day supply of each fragrance, so you'll have time to properly experiment and maybe even find your signature scent.
So if you're interested in trying Scentbird, scan the QR code or use the link below. And with my coupon code ALPACA, you can get 55% off at Scentbird. Plus, you'll get free delivery at your door and a free case. You get the product for half the price. That is just $8. Thank you to Scentbird for sponsoring this video and making me smell amazing in this post-apocalyptic wasteland. And let's get back to it. I feel like this weather is very on brand for what I'm making right now. The first step of this whole process is to make a base corset for all of this stuff to go on top of. Thankfully, I have made a couple of corsets sort of like this in the past, so hopefully I have a pattern in my stash that should already work well for this. I am slightly more organized right now. It's either in this pattern box or that pattern box. Let's find out. Character development. I already have a pattern in mind that should work. I'm thinking I'm gonna try to use the one that I revised in order to make my Queen of Hearts look that I did last year. It was a very long corset with super exaggerated hips, so I'm thinking that should work well for this. Here it is. Hopefully this is all of it, I'm not sure. It is all here, I was able to find it. This should work pretty well for my purposes. I just think that I want to extend it down a little bit further in general and then maybe make it a little bit more asymmetrical, so a little higher up on one side, a little lower on the other side. This also will mean that I can't exactly mirror this pattern going forwards. That kind of sucks because it makes things a little bit more complicated, but that's okay. In light of that, I think for the sake of time saving, I might just continue with a paper mock-up for this one, which is not exactly the most advisable thing, but it's my channel and it's also my consequences. Now this might seem a little unconventional, but I usually make my corsets like this out of a base of painting canvas because I'm gonna put some craft foam over all of this later to do all the detailing and the sculpting, and I need something a little bit more stable for all of that to be glued onto. So now I need to cut all of this out and sew it up. Now I need to glue these pieces together. That needs to happen in patterning phase is to make a base for the clicker mask to eventually sit on top of, just something that I can reliably get onto my face over and over again and maybe potentially still see out of. I haven't exactly figured out that part yet, because if I can't see out of this thing, that is going to make everything definitely pretty complicated. But also, it's a clicker, that's sort of the point. At the very least, I might have to fudge the design so it can at least go like this and then see down. I don't know. How I think I'm going to do the mask base is I have some Warbler scraps that I think I'm going to try and shape into just like a general domino mask shape, then maybe put some of that over the top of the head, sort of like a headband to keep it on, and then maybe make some straps to go around the ears. So I'm gonna have to kind of just get in here and see what actually works for the process best. I think I'm just gonna start mocking it up and see what actually stays on my head, because that is the main goal here.
To begin patterning my mock-up, I grabbed some masking tape and started covering the eye region of my foam head in a layer of that so that I could then draw a domino mask shape on top of that. I could then take that off and stick it to a layer of foam, and I had the general shape that I needed. After cutting that out, I heated up a bunch of Warbler scraps that I had on hand and began covering the mask in a layer of that to give it more structure and stability, and using thermoplastic also allowed me to shape it to the head really easily. From there, I stuck some twisted galvanized wire across the top of the head, covered that in some thermoplastic, and then just started adding a bunch of thermoplastic scraps to the forehead. I used a couple of spare zip ties that I had on hand. I added a piece that goes around my nose that I can add teeth to later. I tried adding Warbler teeth here, but they looked terrible, so I'm not going to end up keeping those in the end. After about 12 more zip ties, I had nightmare fuel in the form of a functional mask base.
Alright, I do look like a killer from a slasher film, and I'm not entirely sure what I think of the teeth so far, but we do at least have a mask base that I think is going to be usable. Needs a little bit more work so that it actually stays on, but I think I can at the very least begin actually building on this. I'm gonna take it off. I can't even look at myself wearing this thing anymore. I think now is a good time to actually start covering it up. I'm of course going to do this the same way I do it all the time. My beautiful foam clay. I have so many mushrooms to make in order to make this as detailed as I want to make it, but thankfully I do have some examples on hand because I made this the other week and I didn't use all of the mushrooms that I made. So basically the exact mushrooms that I need, but I do want to make sure that I sculpt some cordyceps in addition to these. And I also probably just want to make some like other generic looking shelf fungi like I have in here. Some other nasty fungus looking stuff. So I, for the rest of the night, am probably just going to start sculpting and sculpt until I run out of clay. So I think for now I'm also going to start building out the base of the mask with a couple of other things. I might experiment a little bit with just like some craft foam, but I also do have a lot of reference on Pinterest of people who have made their own like clicker cosplays or clicker masks, so I'm going to be referencing these a lot to figure out what did other people do and can I steal your methods. So someone just woke up from a nap. Let's see. So, hey, no, I need feedback. The only way to find out if what I've done is truly cursed is to assess it with a pure being. Okay, wow, she really doesn't want to give it a chance at all. That can't be a good sign. I'm sorry for what I did, like the most crucial part of the design. Where are you going? You better not be getting a mind of your own. That's not going to end well. Go over there, and you know what? Also, don't even look at me. So this is where I am with my clicker mask by the end of the night, and I think it's turning out pretty good. It's been a little bit tricky to figure out how to form all of these, I don't even know what to call them, fungi slabs. It's a very technical term. I did end up using a couple of different methods just to get the base flow down and start trying to establish some of these forms, but the one I used the most was just like these little cut up pieces of foam that I heated a little bit and carved into a bit. They ended up holding the shape really well, and I think once my foam clay mushrooms dry, those will stack on top of these really nicely. But for now, I am out of foam clay, so I think I'm going to call it a night. So last night I expanded my forces. I sculpted all this out of an entire container of foam clay, so I have a lot of mushrooms to work with, but I probably will do even more, honestly. The corset is going to need a ton of detail, so I'll probably go and sculpt even more of those tonight. Also, speaking of corset, the corset itself is now also fully sewn up. I basically did this mostly off camera because it's a bit of an annoying, boring process. It's literally just sewing panels together and then sewing down the seam allowances so that the messiness is sort of controlled and it holds its shape. You can see how messy this is on the inside, but it's the inside, so I don't care what it looks like. I'm pretty close to being done with the corset base. I just need to install closures at this point before I can actually get to the fun part. I just want to get to the fun part right now, but for closures, I of course have a busk here that I'm going to put in and grommets down the back so that I can adjust the size a little bit. All of this stuff is of course super boring, so I'm going to go and take care of this stuff off camera real quick so that I can actually take a wood burning tool to the outside of this corset. Okay, base corset is now fully sewn and assembled. I have all of my closures in there. I got my busk installed. Now, I did have to fudge this a little bit by using glue. This busk was installed with barge cement because I was trying to sew it in my sewing machine and it really didn't like the shenanigans that I was putting it through, but that's okay. It seems to be holding up pretty well actually. I also had to cut down the back a little bit because I made it slightly too big. So anyways, it's time for the long-awaited fun part. I'm gonna start drawing on top of this to figure out where I want to put everything, sculpting on top of it, decorating it. I'm now just gonna have a fun time because this is what I've been wanting to do all week. Okay, I think I am finally done with my mask for the most part, at least until I start painting and adding like a little bit more detail, but I am so happy with how this is coming along. It's definitely like my own interpretation of a clicker. I know that normally all of the shelf fungi or whatever it is coming out are a little bit like thicker and chunkier, but I just wanted to give it a little bit more of my own twist here. And I'm also just a really big fan of the hyper detail, so some of this is inspired by what they did on the show. So I kind of tried to find a happy medium between that and the clickers in the game, and I also went in and added a couple of other different kinds of fungi, these little like spore looking fellas, which I think I want to add even more of. Of course, actual little cordyceps growing out of here, which I think are definitely a lot more common on the stalker designs. I had to do it because maximalism. Little bit of a side note, like I said, I do not like how the teeth I initially sculpted are coming out, so I still have to do something about that, but I did thankfully plan ahead with the solution. I got some fake dentures to put in here. I'm very excited for these. They look entirely too realistic. It's gonna be so beautiful. Can you visualize it? Are you seeing the vision? So now that this is not causing me anxiety, it is now time to switch gears and start sculpting onto the corset. All right, so if I'm gonna put the rib cage on this side, let me just like sketch out quickly where the general rib cage would be. Maybe this shape. just a little bit of like corpse bride energy going on. I have some areas where she's just not looking too good. So put the hip bone about here. I feel like that is generally pretty good. For the gore, I don't want to go overboard because that's not what clickers look like. Also, the executive producer stole the backside of my seat because she got sick of me like moving around and getting up. She had been sitting in my lap and then she absolutely noped out of that. Anyways, now I am going to take my foam clay and start sculpting onto this, trying to add some depth, trying to give these wounds a little bit of a border. See if I can get it to blend into the base of the corset. Never done this before, so I don't know how it's gonna work, but we're gonna give it a shot. Okay, after only about an hour, this is where I am. I'm pretty happy with how it's coming out. I'm honestly surprised at the foam clay with the detail fidelity so far, but we're gonna see how this goes after it dries. I've been trying to add like a lot of just flesh texture in here, and then also just some like drippy, droopy shelf fungi coming down, just trying to make it look real textured and nasty. I especially love how these guys look. I really hope that they hold up in the drying process. They're already trying to droop. Please don't droop. I've done very similar things in the hip area. I've also kind of made it go towards the back, sort of to highlight where the hip seam would be in a corset if this was like fully boned. Turns out I really like sculpting nastiness, and I also have like a protruding pelvis. Probably not the most anatomically correct, but you know what? It's fine. I think it gets the job done.
The next day, after all of that was dry, I took the corset outdoors to do a little bit of
That is
detailing
so much
with
work.
my wood burning tool. This is the reason why I wanted a layer of foam on the outside of the corset in the first place. It both provides a good surface for the foam clay to cling onto and then allows me to carve detail into it. Usually whenever I do this, I'm trying to achieve some kind of specific texture like bark or veins in a leaf or some other organic texture like that. But here instead I'm really just trying to make the corset look worn, trying to make it look like the fibers of the fabric are slowly wearing down and rotting away. I'm also trying to make it look a little bit like the fungus has borne into the fabric itself and trying to like grow out from inside the corset. So I'm really just trying to make it gross, and I'm using my intuition and general artistic eye to decide where those patches of nastiness will go. Once I was all done carving, I was finally able to give the corset a base coat of a beige paint and primer. That way I could just get an even tone to work on top of for the painting phase. And I did the same for the mask so that the base I was working on top of wasn't just so pure white. Also, have you been wondering how I made this giant mushroom army? Let me actually show you that real quick.
All I've been doing is taking a glob of clay and kind of flattening it out on a surface like parchment paper. And then I've been using this sculpting tool. It's got kind of like the bristly end to it. And I just go and lay texture into this like crazy. And I'm also allowing the bristles on this to kind of catch the clay and pull it in interesting ways. That's what's creating those little weird pockets of texture that kind of make it look like a really nasty piece of fungus.
Fungus
So
is
when I'm
nasty.
done with it, I
Fungus is
have
our
a
best
piece
friend.
that looks a little bit like this. For these fellas, I don't know how much you can see the texture on there. It is very much the same technique. Just roll out a little ball of foam clay and then take this tool and just lay texture into it. And you end up with this little spore-looking fella. For my cordyceps, it is exactly as simple as it looks. Just take a little bit of clay, and then I just roll out a noodle. It's a little bit bulkier on one end, pretty thin on the other end, and then I just kind of give it a weird, snaky little shape. And there we have it, cordyceps. And for my shelf fungi, I know I've shown this 1,000 times, but really, really quick, you take clay, you make pancake that's a little bit wider on one side. Like so. You take sharp tool and then carve grooves into said pancake. Sometimes I'll kind of like mess up the edges a little bit. Sometimes I'll like throw a couple of holes in there just to show like wear and tear. And there it is. This is what I made all of those mask pieces out of.
Now go forth and make your very own mushroom army.
So for the skirt part of this, I'm just gonna use a bunch of different scrap fabrics I have so that they don't go to waste, and I can kind of just make an amalgamation of spooky cloth that kind of looks like it could have been a skirt and then got like really stained up. I don't know exactly what this is going to look like because it's really just going to depend on what I happen to have around and what like works well together. So let's go raid my stash. This is the most egregious scrap box in my possession currently. I probably have some stuff in here that would work well.
You have a shirt that just doesn't fit on your shoulders, right?
Right on top, we've got a lot of paint. This is not the moment for this. Little bits like this, I feel like could work well. Could look like blood-stained cloth. It's also nice because I literally would never be able to use this piece for anything else. It's just, it's a little too far gone, so maybe that. Got some green, some more red bits. Actual Halloween spooky cloth. Brocade-looking stuff. Bunch of sort of white translucent fabrics. I think this is a lining for something. This is cloth that I've used for mock-ups. This could work. All right, this is my nasty scrap pile so far. How I think I'm going to assemble some of this together is I might sew some of it, but honestly, this entire project is just supposed to look nasty and disgusting and like it's been rotting away in an apocalypse for over 20 years. So I think hot glue is just gonna do the trick for some of this. I just want to weather all this up and like make it look really, really nasty. So in the end, I don't even think you're gonna notice that there's hot glue there. So now a couple of things need to happen at once before I get ready and start painting this stuff. I have skin tone gloves and tights that I now need to dye and make them look really gross, like rotting flesh somehow. I also have spooky sharp nails that I want to glue onto the fingers. I also have my disgusting skirt pieces to worry about, and I also need to paint and weather those. So I'm gonna try to do all of those little things, basically all at once. Mainly using a combination of probably hot water and airbrush paint because that has worked well for dyeing synthetics before. I dyed some lace that I had purple this way back in October, and just like the heat I think makes the pigment cling to the fibers pretty well. And also I guess it's like, it's the acrylics in the paint, something science, chemical. I could just synthetic fabric dye, honestly, but instead I'm gonna take this pot. Beautiful. I now have a pot of pretty hot water. I'm thinking I'm kind of gonna do a dunk for the base coat because I know this method doesn't dye things very evenly, and that is kind of the effect that I'm going for here. So I'm gonna put just like some nasty greens in here, little yellow ochre. The craft store had a massive sale on airbrush paint. So I got some new toys for this video. Did I get another camera on this? It looks like I'm doing one of those acrylic dip videos. Hold on, just making some like Nickelodeon slime in here. It looks like add just a tiny bit of black. Throw a little bit of yellow in there. Okay, dinner's ready. I have absolutely no idea how this process is going to take on these like spandex blend synthetic fabrics. I'm gonna try the tights first because these are thermal, so they're like fleece lined and they might hold up to my hijinks a little bit better, hopefully. There's no turning back now. Just straight up black. Look at how beautiful that is. Wow. Some of you guys are gonna be like, airbrush paint isn't for that. Well, it is today. Oh yeah, there it is. Well, the material seems to be holding up to my shenanigans just fine, so that's good. I'm gonna try some technique. Right, let's now try some gloves. Just throw it in there. These are looking pretty good. The gloves especially got like real green and sort of gross looking. The tights still need a little bit of work, but I can go in and actually do that with the airbrush in a little bit. What I've been doing while those were in the dye pot is just gluing together a bunch of scrap fabrics. I tried to take footage of this, but my camera doesn't like the fluorescent lighting in here. I've mostly just been putting hot glue around here at the top and letting all of these strips of fabric hang down. I've been doing this in a couple of different sections so that I can glue it at different areas of the corset, almost as if like some areas of the skirt have completely like rotten off. I've also started dribbling some of my green dye a couple of places here, just start weathering it up and making it look nasty. What I'm trying to go for here is making it look like the top layer of the gown has like really rotten away and all of the like linings and petticoats inside have just gotten ripped and stripped down over time.
One of my favorite things about weathering an aging costume rooms is that it's such a big visual storytelling component. When you think about weathering, you have to think about where things would naturally become weathered and worn down over time. So for this clicker, I was thinking a lot about how an unwieldy skirt would probably get torn and shredded up in the course of trying to bite and infect other humans, scrounge around in difficult terrain. That means the bottom of the skirts are also probably going to collect a lot of dirt and grime. She's probably waded through like sewers and nasty water at some point, so I'm trying to stain it to look like that in a lot of ways. In The Last of Us, things also catch on fire a lot with the use of Molotov cocktails and such. So I also used a lot of old spray paint that I had on hand to not only add different gradations like dirt and stains and stuff like that, but I also tried to make it look like the fabric was tarnished and burned in a couple of places. Once my gloves and tights were dry, they also got hit with a little bit of that spray paint to add a bit more tonal variation and darkness to the colors. And this is the dye result I was able to get with the gloves. I'm really pleased with how this came out. And once my skirt pieces were dry, to make it functional, I just took some ribbon and hot glued the pieces onto it. The skirt I came up with is definitely a good bit bigger than the one in my concept art, but I liked that it used up so much of my scrap fabric.
Use what you got what you use. I think we'd like kill some dune worms, so if I find one, I gotta stay in that area. It rained. I thought those were fries for a second. I was like, lunch. It's like not lunch.
Ooh, what on earth have I done?
Good God.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to really cover some of this up because that just looks like meat.
Whoa, that's like an axe wound to the head.
Yeah.
Dude.
That just,
oh, God.
Delicioso.
oh, it's disgusting.
That's vile.
What?
I love that.
Okay, so I have just been painting away today. I have a lot of the base painting done for all of my fungus here. Corset is coming along. Pretty much all of the base painting done with this as well. And also, wow, oh boy, does that look absolutely disgusting. Equally disgusting. My clicker mask is also
reminds
coming
me of a
along.
teapot a classmate made when I was in high school.
Woof. But I think it's turning out really good so far. This is pretty much all of the base painting done for this as well, and most of the other stuff is going to be like hand painting and detailing. So next I can't really do a whole lot until I get all of these pieces assembled and glued onto the corset and this, and also on like my gloves, my tights, because the paint job is going to depend on the positioning with all of that. So now I'm going to start gluing that stuff on and blending it into the corset and the mask and the tights a little bit. This is my reference image for my clicker aesthetic. Hopefully I can get kind of close to this.
Okay, you can't accidentally walk into it. Sick. Looks so cool. Every time I use hot glue, it doesn't work. I've got to start getting into making clothes. Tyga Faya, Miss K, Liana. I love the names. I know people do this for the Patreon or whatever, but I just like seeing people's names.
Once my fungi were all glued on, I needed a way
Penny
to blend
Royal.
them in and cover up some of the seams from the hot glue. So I ripped up some cotton balls and started using those pieces as fake mold, and this really did the trick. It not only looks exactly like fake mold, it also did an excellent job of covering up the seams and blending all of my fungi together. When I was finished with that, I also glued on all of my little cordyceps, and I also glued some molding cordyceps to the mask as well.
Alright, this is where we are now with everything glued on the corset. I know it probably looks like so much right now, but I still need to paint everything, make sure that it blends in with itself, because a lot of orange and brown conflicting right now. But I think that I was able to get like the actual structures blended together really well. I ended up using moss in a couple of places, and then also these little foam pieces I made. But I also noticed a lot of mold on the clickers here in the Last of Us art book, which isn't necessarily something they ended up going for in the game. But I really do like some of the concepts where they use it here. It just seems like natural, something that might plausibly end up happening. So I decided to use a bunch of cotton balls to blend things in together. It really is very effective if you want to make like fake mold on something. I didn't want to go overboard on the mask itself because, again, not a super prominent part of the new clicker design, but I did add a little bit in just a couple of places to make it unify with the base corset a little bit more. So that's something I also want to try to do to my sleeves here. I, of course, also have to take the rest of my fungi, add those to the arms and elbow sections. I also need to make my little applications for the neck area and shoulders and stuff. But before I do any of that stuff, I'm going to finish painting the mask and the corset, get everything detailed, blended together. I'm so tired, but I'm also really, really excited because I am really pleased with how this looks. I can see the vision coming together. I'm on the home stretch. Hopefully I can finish this up in the next couple of hours.
Oh my god. We're painting the mushrooms brown. We're painting the mushrooms brown. Take that. Go, Benny. What do you want, you bug-eyed creep? Alice is outside watching me drink.
Okay, it's getting late and I'm losing the will to be awake. So I have made all of my little fungi applications off camera. I think I've used up all of my fungi at this point, so that's good. So some of these are going to be for my body and face later on. I have this little group here that's specifically going to go on various areas of like my neck and clavicle area. I have some nastiness here that's just little like open wounds and it's probably going to go around my like shoulders and chest. And then probably the rest of these I am going to use on the gloves. To make the applications for my skin, the base is just hot glue and it's a little bit abrasive on the end, so hopefully spirit gum will cling to that and have a pretty good hold. And then I just hot glued the fungi up on top of that and once again blended in some cotton balls. After a little dry brushing, you have
Sometimes you gotta say the line.
and hopefully it will actually stick to my skin. Still haven't exactly tried that yet. We're living on the edge as usual. I use the same method on the pieces that are supposed to go on the gloves. So they have kind of a base to go on that will cling to the glove and hopefully these will stay. Again, haven't tested that yet, but I'm about to try to glue these on. Slightly more difficult because this piece needs to like curve a little bit. But this one is supposed to go like maybe about right here. I'm about to try and glue these on using these pool noodles as a base, and hopefully it'll work. I'm so tired.
I don't listen to electro swing, but I do love it as like montage music.
That worked. way better than it has any right to. Oh my god, look at this. It worked. I have clicker arms. Oh yes. Clicker legs.
Clicker arms.
But these also worked great. Also incredibly easy to like move around in. Very comfortable. In lieu of high heels, because I don't need to wear high heels in a mask that I can't see out of. I thought about it and I said, you know what? Let's be smart about one thing and not do that. So since most clickers just have their dogs out barking anyways, I took some inspiration from these pieces of concept art where the lady clickers just have sort of like bandages or wraps on their feet, and I just ended up gluing some like trim onto my feet, like so. It's not really footwear or full coverage, but I think it will do the job for my purposes.
Now that all of the costume pieces were painted, the last step was making things look even more gross by applying a very glossy enamel clear coat to just certain areas of the costume that should look wet. That meant areas where there are open wounds, on the tips of some of the fungi, really anywhere that should look drippy, and I regret to have to report that this worked a little too well. This looks disgusting.
The costume is done, but now it is makeup time. I'm really excited for this makeup session because I feel it's actually relevant. I usually don't do my makeup for reveals on camera because it's just like eyeliner, lipstick. But on this one, I can skip pretty much all of that. So I've been debating the whole hair or no hair thing for this reveal. And I know that clickers don't typically have any hair. I mean, their hair follicles are literally gone. I'm taking liberties here today. This is my own little creation. And I mostly just don't feel like putting my hair up in like a wig cap right now. I'm just gonna braid the back of it and call it a day. Good enough. I'm also probably gonna pin up my bangs so that they're not getting in my way whenever I like take the mask on and off. Okay, that'll have to do. I got all my little applications over here. I've got spirit gum and spirit gum remover. And then for other glue methods, I have a little clear Elmer's glue. It's non-toxic and people put it on their skin all the time to make those little like skin peeling things. So I figure that'll be okay. And then the dry things are also always
if it flakes off, it like looks normal.
I figure I can also use this and people won't yell at me, probably. So I'm really not even gonna worry about eyes because they're gonna be covered up. I am gonna just make it look a little darker. All right, getting just a little bit stranger. I'm gonna try and like add shadows to the area where I think the mask is gonna hit to kind of add like a natural shadow over there. Which will probably just make it look like without the mask on. My face is really weird and dirty. Trust the process. I'm also trying to make sure I get some like green, gray, dead tones in there. Skeletal cheeks. This is just gonna look very odd until I have the mask on, isn't it? Contour the jaw. We wanna look emaciated. We wanna look dead. Mushroom Man, gonna eat your brains. No, my partner is coming over to help me film this, and I'm gonna look real attractive. Especially when I contour all of the like really bony areas here. Giant contour brush. I am using like the cheapest eyeshadow right now for this, and I feel like it shows. I don't know exactly what my back is gonna look like through all of this, but it's like kind of not any of my business, I guess. I feel like that's a good foundation of like grossness, right? It's starting to look a little spooky scary. So how are those of you who care feeling about the season 2 premiere of The Last of Us TV show? If all goes well and according to plan, hopefully I'm going to be uploading this video the day that releases, so I'm definitely cautiously optimistic. I'm excited for it. I think they'll probably do a good job, but I know that some people just don't like the game anyway. So people who don't care about the story of the original game because it was sad and it definitely just like took a turn. I don't know how you guys feel about the show, but I think the show does have like some potential to do some things better than the game could. The show, you can like just watch things happen instead of having to like go through the drudgery and the pain of having to play as these characters for hours and hours on end. And it's just, I haven't even played part 2 of the game because I said, yep, that sounds miserable. I'll watch a streamer do that. So, in a lot of ways, this show might just like be a better format for
I didn't play The Last of Us or The Last of Us 2. I watched people play it. I think it's pretty cool. I'm sure I have a strong opinion that I'll express one day about this, but because I've never played it, you know? But I always thought it would make a sick show. Like, I don't care about The Walking Dead. I'm not super into television shows overall. But I thought The Last of Us would be a pretty sick TV show. I haven't seen it yet. I should probably get on that. Like and subscribe. I don't hit the bell. I actually have the bell turned off for pretty much everything. Like, I don't have the bell turned on. I have it turned off, and I just go to subscriptions. And I just check subscriptions every day. And then I go to my recommended, and that usually fills my time.
The story they were trying to tell, but we will see. I am definitely sad that Abby isn't buff. I'm sure that it'll be good anyways. I'm sure that they'll like take care of it, but I can see how that could like detract from the story just because I like that bit of contrast between Ellie and Abby. I think that like that visual difference between them, because it's like they're visual foils as well as story foils, so we'll see. Also, we love a buff lady on this channel, as you guys probably are well aware. I'm excited to watch the premiere Sunday night. I'm not excited for golf. Anyways, nasty. I don't know why I enjoy looking like a sewer gremlin, but I kinda do. It is time to now see if my plan works at all. Did not have time to test this out because I was just like scrambling trying to finish everything up, but we're gonna get a shot. I'm most concerned about this big one that's supposed to go on my neck. I really don't know if it's going to hold well at all, but we're gonna see. We're gonna test it out. If this goes well, would really love to wear this look to a convention or a run fair at some point, just so that I can shamble around and like freak people out. But I do anticipate the mask being a little bit of an obstacle for that. Okay, there we go. If I remember correctly, I think you're supposed to wait for this to get tacky. Okay, this one is also important. It's supposed to live like right here. Oh, that's delightful. Question, does spirit gum expire? Probably, but at what point? I wonder. Asking for a friend. I also have all these lesions that I want to put on myself. I have a couple that are supposed to like go down my chest. Like my sternum is trying to open up and bloom some mushrooms or something. And I also have a couple of these fellas. Okay, moment of truth. I feel like these have probably gotten hopefully tacky enough. Just blowing things to her face. I did discover about halfway through doing this that it works way better if you apply it on both your skin and the individual piece. I don't know if that's how you are supposed to actually do it. Probably is. Probably is. Here it is. Here's my clicker makeup. I'm so happy that my little applications worked. I mean, they're not perfect. They're not the most secure, but it works well enough for my reveal in this video. I can probably figure out how to do some like latex rose-aid stuff in the future so that this works a lot better and I could actually wear it for like an entire convention day. But this, I think, is pretty dang good for the reveal. So I'm gonna go run and get in costume, and I'm gonna show you what the finished product looks like. I am so excited. welcome to the end of the video. I just wanted to do a really quick wrap up about the project. I know this video is probably so very long at this point, so I'm sorry about that. Overall, I am extremely pleased with the project. I was able to achieve pretty much exactly what I was trying to go for with the mask and the corset, so I'm really happy about that. I really don't have a lot of like notes or critiques for myself on this project. I more so have like a list of improvements for things that I would want to change or maybe like tweak for the future, especially if I was going to wear it at like a convention or some kind of public function. First of all, the costume overall is a lot more comfortable and a lot more mobile than I initially thought it would be. I can move in the costume, I can run in the costume, which is crazy. Usually can't do that with costumes I make, especially corsets. The visibility in the mask isn't wonderful, but if I turn my head in a certain direction, I can kind of see pretty well. I would maybe need to take it out for like a test drive to see how actually mobile I am. One really great thing about this mask though is it is extremely easy to get off and on, so if I would need to like take it off and walk around for a little bit, I can very easily do that and just like put it back on if I need to take a photo or something like that. The other thing I might need to do is trim down the skirt a little bit and then also improve like my footwear situation. The skirt was getting caught on my legs and feet a little bit whenever I would film like the running scenes, and I wore like a couple layers of socks underneath my tights, so I was able to just like walk around in the woods like this, no problem. But the ribbons that I put on my feet did not stay at all because I glued them in a stupid way. I probably just need to get some like flat shoes and make them look clickery. The main thing that I would be looking to change with this whole ensemble is the makeup situation. The Spirit Gun method worked a lot better than I expected it to. Most of my applications were able to stay on throughout the filming process, but they did not like contour to my body very well because of course the base was hot glue. That's a little bit too rigid, and the edges also peeled up pretty easily. And the one I had on my neck, of course, fell off completely. It did not stay on for very long at all, but I mostly blame that on the fact that the strap of the corset was bumping against it the entire time. Had it not done that, probably would have stayed on. All that being said, in the future, I do want to try like an actual prosthetic application process. I'm gonna have to experiment with that and see what will work well, because my main concern is coming up with things that I can use over and over again. I really don't want to come up with applications that are like disposable. The other thing is makeup on like my face and my neck and everything. It's very minimal for a clicker. I think it works for this video because it's not like straightforwardly a clicker cosplay, like I'm wearing a freaking dress. But I think I do want to make it a little bit more clickery if I were to like wear it out somewhere or wear it for a Halloween costume. And on that note, I might add a lot more detail to the sleeves and the legs, because I think clickers usually do have a lot more wounds and fungi just growing out of them. I think this is a costume that has potential for me to build on top of, so that's really great. And I've really been trying to come up with projects recently that will be like a little bit more evergreen than stuff that I've made in the past, so things that I will actually wear and use again. I think that this project is definitely that. All I gotta do is take this bloody ripped pair of jeans, bloody tank top, I have a clicker costume. And when this isn't on my face, it's going to live on my wall. What lovely decor I've made for myself. Anyways, that was a really long ramble there. Again, I apologize for the length of this video. Yikes. Anyways, thank you so much for watching till the end of this very long video. If you did.
Okay, it is
Sorry, what's that? The cursed item.
It's a little long. I enjoyed it though. It was a good video. Ooh, dollhouse.
You know what I'm a super big fan of? Filming things multiple times. Because I fuck something up. I just want to get things done.
Agree, subscribe.
Welcome to Fezziwig Toys, where we make things that are big, but we make them really small. In today's video, I titled the video Plants 5 Ways, but I'm sitting here and I'm looking at 6 plants. I know there's a 7th plant. I definitely made more than, well, I guess these two are the same method, so there's a few different methods. Just know there's a smattering of plant making going on in this video, and I wanted to try some new techniques. I have been, I have this like ongoing list of just techniques I've seen other people do that I'm like, I want to try that, you know? So yeah, so the inspiration for this video was making paper plants, which I've been seeing people do for a really long time. This little guy right here is paper. So I was like, I'll give it a try and I'll make a YouTube video out of it. Content, baby. Content, baby. Yeah, so, and then after I did these guys, I was like all warmed up and juicy. So I was like, well, why don't we make some more? Why don't we try some more techniques? And some of them worked better than others. Some techniques I will use again, and some techniques that I will most likely abandon and never use again, and I will throw down in a fiery hole. Yeah, so thanks for being here. Enjoy the video and let me know what you think. Okay.
Okay, bye.
All right, so let's get right into it. For this one, this is like a little beat bop. I don't know, I think it's like a little piece that came off a pole or something, like a little end cap. Anyway, it was painted brown, but then I tried this video once before what you're seeing, and it was all fucked up, so I had to rip it off and all the paint ripped off. And at that point I was just like, I am not repainting this. So anyway, I bought this sort of basket weave ribbon
Burlap
at Goodwill.
It's burlap.
And
It's
I
real
thought,
cheap burlap.
this will make something look like a basket that it isn't actually a basket. So then I just took that basket weave ribbon and see, I kind of cut it into triangles and sort of like folded it around the roundish shape. Then I took the glue that is watered down that is in this spray bottle, and I just kind of gave it a real good soak so that it wasn't all like hairy and shedding and like stabby and itchy. Then the next thing I do, if you guys have seen me make plants before, I always just fill them up with hot glue and trash just to like fill it so that I don't have to use as much of like my good materials. Just filling the thing up. Plus it does add
I would put like a little like fishing weight in the
someone
bottom of
sent
it too.
me this like little grass thing. I don't know, maybe it went to like a Barbie house or something, but I think it makes a good sort of snake plant or spider plant or something. I don't know plants. I murder all of them. So but I really like the way it looks. This is like, I had a bunch of this old shitty tea because I was gonna try to make kombucha, and then I just grew a bunch of disgusting mold. So I use the tea as dirt.
Good move.
You could see this thing wasn't flat, so I took this silicone mat, and I kind of made a little foot with the hot glue and then pushed it down, and then it doesn't
or a
stick
non-stick
to the
surface.
silicone. So
it can be general as you need to.
yeah, it worked pretty good. It's pretty cute, and I'm pretty happy.
Yay.
Alright, so I got this little super cute snaily boy container for Christmas. It came from miniatures.com. And then this is just some like random greenery that I got at like Joann or a thrift store or something. So I cut it up all good, like you're cutting up some of that good sticky icky. And then I took like little pieces of wire, like floral wire, and I got them nice and glued up, and I just kind of like haphazardly let it stick to it. And then I did that like 1 million times using my vampire super fast powers, and I just made like 1,000 of them, and I did it in like 2 seconds because I'm really fast.
Oh, I love Queen of the Damned.
And that's how I made all the plant matter for my snaky boy plant. Plants are kind of the thing that I make when I need to make something easy. Like when I'm just kind of like burned out or whatever. I'm just like, hey, I'll just make some plants or some books. Books are another good one, or just printables in general. They're like low brain material.
I wouldn't say low brain, it's just like you have to think about it. Autopilot type activity.
So I started by taking this rope and then unwinding it into thinner strands. I took the individual strands and ran them through the glue. I don't recommend this. I liked the wire better. In theory, it's good, but I just didn't think it came out as good, and it was like just harder to kind of manage and deal with. It didn't want to behave itself. The wire you could bend and mold and shape very easily, but the rope just really had a mind of its own. So I got a ton of these vintage wooden beads, and what I do is I fill one end so that it's closed, and then I just squirted a bunch of hot glue down there and started shoving these little guys down there, except it really became a nightmare really fast. The hole was not big enough, first of all. Then also, it was really hard to shove the flopsy mopsy rope fibers down in that hole. It was just, the end result is okay, but this just was not the best method. I wanted to make this video and I wanted to try some new plant making methods, but this one I'm gonna say
I would not tell my
just
child to
probably
do
a pass on for me for next time.
Paper. Snake. Snake.
Okay, so for years I've watched people make these plants out of paper in various forms, so I decided, why not? I designed the file and then just had it cut on my Cricut because I'm lazy. Then I just took some paint and went around the outside edges in yellow, and then I kind of added a little bit of texture with a thin green brush in the middle. This technique, like the one you just watched, it's fun. Would I try it again? Maybe in a different way? Maybe. I don't know. I just think there's like better ways. It's much more labor intensive compared to my usual method, which is harvesting plant material from fake plants, which is fine if it yields really great results. I don't think that like the amount of work I put into this is worth the way it turned out, which is fine. It looks fine, but if I'm gonna put that much time and effort into something, I want it to look better than another method where it takes me half the amount of time and energy.
Work hard and work smarter.
I need to be economical with my time. I feel like this section of the video is way too long, and I should have edited
I think she should have put
way down.
the texture on
and
first.
So therefore,
and then
I
down the
really
edges.
need to bring it with my voiceover. With my voiceover, I need to really bring the good sauce, and extra entertaining, because I mean,
Girl,
if I'm bored by my own shit, like,
Juice.
how is anyone even? I should check the analytics on my videos.
Never.
Oh, but wait.
Forget the numbers.
There's more. There's a whole second side
Just
to
do
this
it.
nightmare. But at least I did y'all a solid, and I thought I edited it down, but maybe not. Maybe we're all gonna have to suffer through this together, okay? Maybe this nightmare, this never-ending nightmare, you and I are going down with the ship right now. Thank God. Oh, and then I just took a little watercolor pencil and added a little texture. This I had no reason to do. Why did I feel like I needed to use a square dowel to put this edge on it? I could have literally used any straight edge. And then I used this floral wire. I just glued it in. A lot of the videos I watched, they kind of sandwiched the floral wire in between two slices of paper. That probably would have been a really good idea, but I didn't do that. I used a really strong industrial glue, and the wire did stick well, and it has continued to stay adhered, but it was kind of a nightmare while it was drying. and then I used some glossy Mod Podge to just seal it and to give it like a little shine. I suppose the Mod Podge too does also help secure the wire to the paper, probably. But the other thing I will mention is that if you don't have a glossy Mod Podge, you can use a white PVA glue, which will dry clear and just have like a little bit of a gloss. So the assembly for this was super easy. Just hot glue and then put these bad boys in and then kind of, you know, fuss them around, make them look good, give them a little bend, make them look natural. And like, I was happy with it. I know I've been whiny, but it does look cute. Alright, so this was definitely my favorite of the day. Is it because I have made this style before and therefore I have perfected it? I don't know. I think it just looks the realest. It looks the cutest. I don't know. Is it just luck? Is it actual skill? Or did I just get lucky and this one is the cutest of them all? I used this little broken basket. Sometimes my friends will send me their broken shit and I love it. So this was like a basket that had a broken handle. So I just cut the handle off. Filled it with trash as usual, and I used these sticks that I found in my yard. Again, filled it up with this old cruddy tea. I just filled this bad boy up, and I just kept using the hot glue because that added more structure for the sticks. Do yourself a favor and hold your plant over your little tub of dirt medium. It will make much less of a mess.
Sorry, I gotta manhandle my camera.
Alright, so then apply this watered down glue medium, which I've talked about in lots of videos. It will turn the loose, messy tea medium into like a brick. It'll make it super solid. Alright, so then gather the plant medium of your choosing. In this case, I don't know. It probably came from Joann or Goodwill or something. I'm always picking up fake plant stuff whenever I see it at thrift stores, craft stores where it's really cheap. And then I cut them up into individual leaves and hot glued them on. It's not scientific. However, it's really easy and I feel like it looks really good. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I think it looks really realistic. The one thing I will say that I probably could have done, but I'm lazy, is do a little bit of shading, either with pastels or like a watered down paint or something. I think that would have added a little extra something special, but I'm really happy with how this plant came out, and I think it looks super cute in my little vintage dollhouse. Alright, so I have a couple minutes here of airtime, which I know what you're thinking. Allison, you could just shut the fuck up, but I think we both know that's really not what you want. So I'm gonna squeeze in a little don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, blah, blah, blah. But also, as much as I want growth and I want to keep being able to do this, I am more just craving the connection to human lives on the internet. And well, in like minds, I guess. I wouldn't say I'm necessarily a people person, but I do, you know, I'm curious. I'm curious who's out there, and I'm curious who's watching and what y'all are thinking, and more importantly, what are y'all making? And I don't know, what are you into? Have you seen other cool makers? Did you hear a new band? Like, let's get into it, you know? Let's share. Let's share some shit in the comments. Let's get into it.
Oh, now we gotta leave a comment. I did, but I'll do it again. adorable little tree.
Welcome back. What'd you think?
I loved it.
Did I make all of your plant wishes and dreams come true?
Yes.
I hoped that I did. Did you have a favorite plant? Did you?
I like that
do you
palm tree,
have
and I
you
like the snake plant.
tried any of these techniques? Do you
Nope.
want to?
Not really.
I
don't want to make tiny furniture.
I want to know all of the things.
Cool
Let's
shit,
connect.
though.
Let's form a deep bond. Sick. Cool. I'm glad I'm finally finishing this video.
I feel that.
You know,
Videos are hard.
I'm a very mutable person. That's all I'm gonna say. That said, I'm not the most consistent with making videos. We've talked about this. You guys know. If you want to be alerted for when the feet of my content break through its little content eggy, then make sure you subscribe and hit the bell, and also follow me on whatever social media you prefer, because I will announce it there. And I don't know what the next video is gonna be. I haven't filmed it. I have filmed some reels, so stay tuned for those guys. I have some short format coming out.
Adorable. Super fun. Alright. I know, I'm pretty sure we just need the sandworm. Fiends. They are fiends. Done, done, done. I'm pretty sure it's just these two. Where is the cactus? Where are they? Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. Good to know. Oh, duh. I should know that. It's just been a while and my brain is not helping. Put that back. Put that back where it came from, or so help me. So help me. Give me a second. I'm fighting with the size of this window. Oh my god, why did we do that? Alright. Let's fix the size. We go. Eh. Do do do. Do 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 do. Oh, let's check this out so I can fix the size of my window real fast. There we go. I've got all your arrows. I love this channel. I love his little video game genre mashup. Really good. He really nailed that. That was sick. I'm getting hungry. I love this guy.
Whoa, wouldn't it be great to just not be affected by rolled ankles? Two things, ankle strength in compromised positions and ankle flexibility so that those ranges of motion are no longer unsafe. This first one is not a stretch. Just bring your ankle over your knee and lift your foot sideways. All you have to do is flex your peroneal muscles just like this to bring your foot back down. At least 10 reps, but I like to do 2 sets. That should make you pretty sore tomorrow. When you start to feel confident and strong, go ahead and grab a pole, and you're going to do a similar thing, but this time you're using your body weight as resistance, and you're finding just a little bit of a stretch. Avoid pain. Just go far enough that you feel those muscles activate. And lastly, you can use an ankle inversion as a stretch. Don't go into pain, but the more advanced you get, the more weight you'll be able to comfortably put into it. Stay flexy. Oh, wouldn't it be great to just not be affected by rolled ankles? Two things, ankle strength in compromised positions.
Out of all the Pokemon that are just an animal, Toucan is the most just an animal. Even Tauros has the tails and gems. Even Seal and Dugong have horns and style. This Brute Luke's peddling motherfucker is exactly a toucan, failing to live up to the ballistic promise of its awesome name. Hey, now this particular toucan is pissed the f off. Out of all the Pokemon that are just an animal,
This person is practicing a technique called the flying needle, a precise method of flicking a needle into a target with incredible accuracy. In this case, they're aiming at marked spots on a styrofoam sheet. This technique is often used in blood tests, allowing professionals to quickly prick a patient's skin with minimal discomfort. This person is practicing.
Pretty sick. One day we'll kill all these worms. Stupid worms. I don't know how many of that there is. Alright, we need to hit up a save point. Yeah, I think I hit the save point, and I think that's the end of the streaming for the day. I think I'm a little wore out. Thanks for coming along. We are a few monsters closer to having all the monsters. Alright, thank you so much.